Is that rolled opener?
It's the one that works as opposed to last week's.
All right,
I can't believe that. I put the wrong one up. No, that's the new old one. Well, the old new one. I don't know.
Everything that's old is new again. Isn't that
I'm
how
gonna
it
change
works?
it again. I'm always fiddling. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll change it again and again
and again.
Now
and
this is actually episode 80.
Okay.
So 20 away from 100. 100 should come actually during the election, I think.
Well, with the 100 celebration, maybe we can have some winners on the show.
Hey, should we have T-shirts made? Winthrop Votes T-shirts?
Might not be a bad idea. I've been trying to figure out how to get the word out about us, but I don't know.
I'll look into it.
Pipe dreaming.
I'll look into it, and then just we give them out to people from the Facebook group if they request one. It's summertime, T-shirt weather.
Summertime.
Winthrop Votes live stream. Winthrop in red, then Votes in white, live stream in blue.
Make sure you have that find us on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll never find us. Oh, they'll find us on.
People are like, what? Who's? Right. Oh, those guys.
Yeah. YouTube, maybe.
Yeah.
So, hey, I want to give you an update before we get too far down the patio.
We got plenty of time. Yes.
Well, so I did some snooping or talking around about the book that we want to get in the resource area. It's still not there. Basically, my person, and I'm going to out him, Gus C. I dropped the ball. I keep forgetting. However, that being said, I also had a conversation with him about the process, right? Like, what do we do? And he said first he wants to just bring the book to Lisa and to the principal and show it to them. So he's got to get a copy of the book from his daughter. That's the holdup. She owns the bookstore down the center because no one knows where the book is now that I brought to the meeting.
Someone took it and bought it and destroyed it.
Right. Well, then it's in it. Never mind. Would it be nice?
Or did you give it to somebody there at the town council meeting?
I handed it at the school committee meeting. I handed it to Lane, and I know she passed it around. But she didn't remember. She didn't know where it ended up because I asked
one of them put it in the trash. I guarantee you.
Suzanne Suzanne Swope pulled papers for Barbara Flockhart's seat on the council.
Suzanne who?
Swope on the school committee.
All right.
The one that doesn't know how to work the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
You remember her?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, basically, you're trading one for it's a swap. It's basically an even swap. I don't think she'll say things like you'll get your Italian up, but I think they're pretty much politically aligned.
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's always, it's not going to run unopposed.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll do our best to make that happen. What precinct?
So precinct 4, which is the Highlands. That's Barbara Flockhart's precinct. And so you have Munson pulled papers.
Kurt Millar
pulled papers. I don't know if Jim pulled papers yet. I didn't even ask him. Oh, yeah, Jim pulled his papers, or at least he was there. Yeah, he did.
So I thought he was, it's either self-deprecating. I'm not going to do this next time. I'm not going to do it.
You know how that goes.
And I like Jim. I'm not dogging Jim. I'm just saying this is what he was talking about. And this is what he was saying. I'm not going to do this again. I won't be around next time.
He doesn't. You can dog him if you want because he doesn't hold grudges. He's good.
He can't hold a grudge against me. I like him. He doesn't. I'll say it right to him. He knows I have no ill will against Jim. I might. Yeah. Hey, listen. He's in a position where he opens himself to criticism, and I'm sure he's used to it by now.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, maybe not all of them are used to it by now. So we'll see. We'll see. We have the. We're going to, let me see if I can pull something up. So who are we having on tonight?
Well, Vasily is supposed to join us because there's new developments in the Bill Schmidt overreach case.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the long and the short of it is the ticket he wrote
is null and void.
It's null and void.
Yeah, I said that.
He doesn't have ticket writing authority.
So what does that tell you? He doesn't even know what his reach is.
Exactly. He doesn't have the authority to write that ticket.
So this shows you his vindictiveness.
Let me be fair.
Okay.
I don't know that they got the legal opinion back yet, but I don't care. I'm pretty sure that. So for everybody, okay, fine. This is my opinion, but I'm 90% sure myself that legal opinion's coming back saying. But it is null. That ticket's gone. There's no more.
It's null and void. So he has to now write another one himself.
He has to get the.
Why wouldn't he? Well, I mean, okay, he has to tell somebody to write Vasily another ticket. But let Vasily tell the story. So what I mean.
Oh, there's a story to that. You've already hashed this out.
I guess there is. Yeah, there has to be a story behind this.
All right.
But so we have up for re-election, and it's starting now. We have Rob DeMarco, right? He's at large.
Mm-hmm.
He's at large. No.
Tracy Honan.
Yeah, that's right. So we got Jim Lettieri, Tracy Honan.
Yep.
John Munson.
Yes.
Barbara Flockhart.
Yes.
And Stephen Ruggiero.
Yes.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, five seats.
Mm-hmm. Munson and Lettieri and Swope pulled papers for precinct 4. So she's definitely not running for school committee. She's running for precinct 4.
So now there's going to be a seat open in the school committee.
Was going to be 3 if potentially 3. And
if somebody else that runs from the school committee. So we're going to have hopefully we have a busy election season on Winthrop Votes live stream.
I hope that
it worked out for the majority of the people that came on the live stream. It worked out for them.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did.
I think there's like maybe 2 that didn't. But it worked out for them. I mean, we'll see.
Dennis says hi.
That's my buddy from the military.
You know that, okay.
Major Air Force Base, Sacramento, 1990. I was there, 90 to about 93. And me and
thank you, Dennis, for your service.
It was Airman Labbit at the time. He was just a young kid, man. Going back to 90, 91, 92. Yeah, we closed Mather Air Force Base, actually. Sacramento.
Oh, shit. You were there.
Kid. Oops. Yeah. Dude, I was the kiss of death. I was in the Philippines. I left. It closed. That was because of a volcano, but it closed. I go to Mather Air Force Base in Sacramento. Closed. Then I go to March Air Force Base in Southern California because Mather closed. March closed.
Yeah, bad
I go to Kirtland Air Force Base, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it was on the hit list, but it made it off the hit list. But it was still, I was the kiss of death for Air Force bases.
You're bad juju.
I was like the Thanos of the Air Force.
Yes.
I just snapped my finger. The bases are gone.
Yeah. That's absolutely.
Yeah. Dennis was he was actually on he was one of my elite gate guards guys. I was the supervisor for the NCO in charge of the elite gate guards. I believe he was on it. My buddy.
My buddy.
Yep. So that's what we got, buddy. So also, somebody sent me in the mail a lot of information. This envelope. On the history of Ingleside Park. A lot of information on Article 97. Basically, it's saying that the survey provided by Tim Bennett, PLS, and Grady Consulting is based on GIS mapping of the town of Winthrop's assessing department. You can't do that.
Why not?
You have to do I believe you have to do a physical survey.
With the pins and the
I believe so. I believe
you're right, actually.
Yeah, with lasers. They don't have to do the string. I guess they like back in the day used to do a string and they'd run it, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's way back in the day. But the pins, and then they would shoot, then they ended up with those like shoot the azimuth or whatever, get the reading. But now they can do it with laser, but that has to be the survey, not what the town provides. But we'll cover this. I just got this today, so I'm going to do some looking. I'll send you, Todd, I'll try to have it kind of faxed or PDF to you. My wife is the techie when it comes to that stuff.
She can scan.
All right, asshole.
I mean,
I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. No, she just does it fat. Yeah, exactly. And my pages look like this. Like, okay, don't mind the overhang. Don't mind the overhang on the picture. Just focus on what's in it.
You can just say she's more professional. How's that?
She's way more professional. Way more professional. Hey, you do a good job at that stuff too, but listen, I was just a dog handler. That's all.
Yeah.
I just looked for drugs. I wasn't good with all that stuff.
Did you find? And you found them too.
I found a lot of drugs. Lots of drugs. Yeah. Matter of fact, at one point, I was in the International Couriers, working those in Miami International, and I led the nation in seizures at those departments.
Look at that.
So I was a busy boy finding drugs back in the day.
You would make Nancy Reagan proud.
Just say no.
Just say no, baby.
And there was job security, and then, of course, then they created Homeland Security, and drugs went to like number 4. And now what do you have going on in this country? Fentanyl. Now they're like, we got to find, if they had kept everything in place, and terrorism, immigration, agriculture, and then it was drugs. Like, are you kidding me? I watched it. I watched it happen. They just didn't care about drugs. Now there's an epidemic, and they're like, we need more dogs at the border. We need more drug interdiction. It's all political.
While we're kind of riffing here, because that's what we're doing.
Well, Vasily just pulled. He's like, I think he's in an Uber.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get him on while we can. Hold on. All right. What's up, buddy?
I wish I was in an Uber, but no, I'm on my way from the town council meeting. I just had public comment.
Okay. Hey, I did a show one time driving home from West Palm Beach Airport to Boca.
Yes,
that's how dedicated I was.
He was good. He was good too.
Dedicated I was.
Well, the good part is I'm only a block away from the house.
Yeah, I was on the highway. Father Walter was on. He was very concerned for me. He was very concerned. So, do you want to wait till you park and get set?
I'm going to be here in 10 seconds. Oh, I'm just waiting, making sure the chickens are in their coop right now.
There you go. See, there's priorities. Yes,
I hope you got your permit. Did you get your permit?
Unfortunately, there's strict directives for me to...
Uh-oh.
You muted.
No, why? Because he just left his car.
Yep.
So...
Is unhooking from the
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
As of right now, I have a permit. I was told just now members have no authority to issue any citation. But it sounds like the chairman of the board of health looking at that a little bit more to see if he does.
So let's get this right. You were told at the town council meeting that Bill the Shill Schmidt, the maniacal, narcissistic.
Oh my God!
What? Maniacal, narcissistic. Yeah, he is. What a misogynistic, petty little man wrote you a ticket that was totally dysfunctional and not even like it's null and void, right? He wrote you a ticket. You said this isn't right, and once he signed where he wasn't supposed to sign, where you were supposed to sign, that makes the ticket null and void. This I know for a fact. So
Scott, really quick on that, because I did ask.
Yeah.
About that, and regardless if he did sign there or not, it's not null and void.
Where do you sign?
I don't know.
Now, that's the question. Like, where are you supposed to sign then? No, they don't know what they're talking about. If the town council said that, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand how violations work, how they're written. You take that to court, a judge is going to say, no, this is out the window. I'm telling you, I was in law enforcement for 30 years. I know for a fact any violation written where the officer makes a mistake, ticket usually gets tossed.
Well, I mean, I can understand why he made a mistake because he's only issued 2 citations ever since 2016. So he's inexperienced. He's inexperienced at that. One he had issued in September 2022, I believe, for trash. And then, shocker, 8 working days later, after my permit expires, his second citation ever given was for not having a permit for the keeping of animals.
Okay, so you were coming in, as you were walking in, you were cutting in and out. So if you don't mind repeating what you were saying, you went to the town council meeting, right?
Yeah, so I went to just now to the town council meeting. I asked whether or not the Board of Health, a member or the chair, have the authority to issue tickets. One of the counselors shook their head yes. And then the town manager had clarified, saying that no, they do not have the authority.
Can I take a guess and say that was John Munson that was nodding his head?
That is correct. That is correct.
How would I know that?
That is correct.
What was he nodding his head to?
Saying that the Board of Health does have the authority to issue. So he did, and then it was clarified by the town manager. He had looked into it. Massachusetts state law states that no, the Board of Health does not have the authority. And, you know, just to put this out there, and I pulled an information request on this, there has never, besides Bill Schmidt, there has never been a member on the Board of Health, the Winthrop Board of Health, to ever issue a citation. He is the only person to have issued in the last 10 years.
And I know they won't admit this publicly, but they have to know that this is an overreach. It's a vendetta. He's using his bully pulpit to take advantage. He's taking advantage of his bully pulpit to basically take out a personal vendetta on a resident, a citizen, a tax-paying voting citizen in Winthrop. Would you agree?
I absolutely. I mean, the icing was on the cake. As soon as that citation came, and then to find out that he has only written 2 citations, absolutely the icing is on the cake right there. This is as personal as it can be. I stuck up for myself. I stated facts against all of their arbitrary changes. I gave them resources. I reached out at the last Board of Health meeting. You know, they had contacted the city of Revere. The health department told them about a chicken expert that they used out of Greenfield, Massachusetts. They said it's arbitrarily, the number of chickens is arbitrary. We picked 6 because of, you know, our property size, and I can understand that. And Bill follows up and says, well, what about location? And she goes, "Oh, that's just to reduce complaints by neighbors. So no health risk."
Oh, but don't ask, ask the other two, ask the other women. Oh my God.
But here's
You're going to be ground zero.
Here's the other part. I believe her name was Lauren Buck from the city of Revere, the health department. She had provided to Bill and the two members the chicken expert that worked with Revere, and she also created the regulations in Somerville. Bill had her contact info. Not one phone call, not one email to her. Well, guess what? I called her. I got in touch with her. And you know what she said? That the Board of Health is misinformed.
Well, this is how narcissists and egomaniacs act. You're not going to tell him what to do. So he won't listen. He will. You can't tell him what to do, and he'll do just what I did to Todd just then. He'll shush you.
Scott. Scott. So speaking of personal, that's a good segue, Vasily, because I had to read your complaint a couple times around the specifically. I was focusing in on the text. What did you call it? Text harassment.
Yeah.
And after I read it and then thought about it, I said, okay, now I can understand why. And you used words like you found them incredibly uncomfortable, intimidating, and antagonistic. I thought he must be thinking the angle I was missing is these are your pets. Like, to me, no offense, because I never owned a chicken. I'm just thinking egg factory. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a relationship. I've never had a relationship with chickens. But more to the point, Scott, can we show the picture? Because I'd like to get a little color from you. Can you bring up the text? So Vasily, you're familiar with this. This was in the complaint. My question here with this is, I guess I kind of know, was there supposed to be a joke in here or something? I don't get it.
No. So let's go back. Let's go to the first one, right? Actually, let's go to the first one. The last time Bill had contacted me and I contacted him was in July 5th. And that's when it started to turn, right? The atmosphere of this all started to turn a little bit. And I get a text message following that. I believe it says, how'd you like the Board of Health meeting? I ignored it because I didn't want to speak to him. What am I going to talk to you about? I'm disagreeing with you. Why are you texting me? Okay. And then randomly, I get that text message with 4 pictures on a Saturday night in October. I believe it's, what's it say? October 24th?
October 11th.
October 11th at 1:24.
October 11th at 8:24 at night. I'm on my couch watching a hoop game. Why are you texting me anything regarding chickens when I am disagreeing with you? My stance and your stance are colliding. We do not see eye to eye. But if you think it's okay to just randomly send me a message, are you trying to intimidate me? Because it's not working. But you're trying to intimidate me here.
Right. Yep.
And then no response. So here's the thing. It's unprovoked. I didn't provoke him to send me any pictures of chickens or just saying, hey, look, there's chickens. I didn't open conversation with you. You aren't my buddy who I talk to every single day. Okay.
Right.
So why do you feel like at 8:24 at night, and you've never texted me that late at night, from what I think, but why are you texting me on a Saturday night? Keep your boundaries. And then, on another Saturday at 3:00, the second text message is, I called you by mistake and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and ate turkey, not the chickens.
That was bizarre.
That is bizarre.
Seriously.
So people on the outside looking in might say, well, they maybe he was just trying to be, funny. Well, evidently that would be like if I sent my brother a text saying, happy Thanksgiving, I hope you ate turkey and not your dog. That's basically what it is. That's basically what he's saying.
It's the same thing.
So people that want perspective Think of it that way. You get this random crazy text from somebody saying, "Hope you didn't eat your pet at Thanksgiving."
Right. It's just an intimidation factor. That's what it is. He's trying to send me, he's trying to butter me up here. Not happening, dude. Not happening. And you know what else?
Well, buttering up, no pun intended.
following this, the way he threw snarky remarks at Todd at the meeting about dogs and just his snarky remarks back at people, they're rude.
Yeah.
They're so unprofessional. And it just clarified with me, like, these aren't well intended. These messages aren't well intended.
He's not a nice person. He's not a nice person, number one. Now, not being a nice person doesn't disqualify you for being in a position of authority, right? There's a lot of people that aren't nice that are in these positions. But keep it to yourself. Once you start bringing it into the public and you're putting it, when you're having official, local government meetings, and you're taking that as like, I can do whatever I want. I'm the king of this room. And he always does think he's the smartest guy in the room. That's a fact, and he will go after anybody that challenges him. You are the perfect example. You are the example. I don't think there's a better example of this guy. And hey, listen, I'm just going to put it out there. And she said it. That's right. She said it, not me, but we all know,
Yeah. I started the public comment tonight apologizing to the town council and the departments I've had to work with through this, because I shouldn't be wasting their time on this petty nonsense. And they have other things that they have to worry about in this town. This should not be a priority for the Board of Health. Maybe the Board of Health should focus on the increase in cancer rates from the airport. What are we doing about that?
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you very much.
That would probably be a good priority on the list. But Vasily's 6 chickens in the front yard are a major health pandemic at this point.
You're ground zero, buddy, for pregnant women. Remember, isn't that what Jeannie said? Or was that Marianne?
No, that was Jeannie.
No,
yeah.
You really can't get those two straight.
No, I can't. Yeah.
I will tell you, when I attended the Board of Health meeting the other night, Thursday night, I did bring up that this has turned personal. The icing's on the cake with the citation. I don't know if they were aware that he had issued a citation to the property here. I do hope that it opened their eyes a little bit to this. And, this just isn't about the health risk or the location piece. No, this is personal. It's personal. It's as personal as
there's no doubt.
And here's the other part. Here's the second piece of this. And I was looking at the application for the permit. It states like you can place your chickens in the back or the side yard, but not the front yard. And then it says blah 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 blah. Asterisk, font is increased. No chickens in the front yard.
Unnecessary.
Like that's like me. That's me telling one of my students, giving them a hint and being like, "Hey, make sure you use this formula to solve the area of a rectangle." And I'm repeating it multiple times.
So basically, it was aimed at you.
Why does it have to be there twice?
Right?
Tell me why it has to be there twice. Why is it on the application twice?
And then in bold letters. The fact also that you didn't get a grandfather clause, which is very common in situations like this.
That raises a question. So you got the permit not from the BOH, but from the inspectional services. Is that where they're supposed to come from? Or is the BOH supposed to sign off?
So what happened? So long story short, I said I wanted to get chickens. I've wanted to get chickens for years. I went to inspectional services. I said, this is the location I'm putting it in. This is how many chickens. This is the type of coop, etc. All right, here's your permit. 2 days later or 3 days later, I went to Tractor Supply. I purchased my coop. I had my first couple of chickens the following day. And then it was Easter, and that's when the chair came. So I went down to inspectional services. They gave me the permit. And I said this to Bill at the beginning of all of it. I said, well, then, Bill, I wanted to be reimbursed for all the costs.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and oh no, they can't do that, or he said file a complaint. That's the one
tort
thing
claim. You can file a tort claim against the town.
That's the one thing he does. And Todd, you brought up a great point at one of the meetings. He will throw everyone else under the bus but himself. And I brought this up at the meeting tonight. Sense of community, there is none when it comes to him. There's no sense of community. And Todd, you brought it up at the meeting in March. There's no sense of community when it comes to him. And I pointed it out tonight. 285 signatures against him, right? More than, and I pointed every single person on town council, more than you had to get on the ballot. And the message from him was, doesn't matter.
Nope.
Well, where's the sense of community there? We're supposed to be bringing people in. I have a sense of community. I give out my eggs. I give out my vegetables. I say hello to every single person. I have grandparents and mothers and fathers coming by and saying, my kids love this every single day. People just come by and look, wow, this is pretty therapeutic, which is kind of crazy to me, but it actually is. You know, there's so many positives to this. Unfortunately, he's on his own page.
You know what's crazy? I have more of a sense of community for Winthrop, and I don't even live there.
No sugar.
Think of that. Like, this guy lives there. He's lived there his whole life or whatever, the last 50 years. But this is how egotistical narcissists act. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care what anybody else says. It might sound like I'm joking. No, this guy has every characteristic of a narcissist.
Yeah, he's something.
He has every characteristic. And Vasily, you nailed it. He doesn't care about other people. A normal person, a normal thinking person in that position would say, yeah, you know what? Okay, that's a lot of people. In Winthrop, that's like one election. Like, you might get that many votes for an election. I did that
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And you take that into consideration. You start taking everything but no, he's going to tell you what to do, and he's not going to back down. Kurt says it earlier. And again, he's going to the state, the legal, to show this is how far this guy will go. I will not be wrong. You will not stifle me.
This guy is a crackpot, because now when Kurt brought up the state, he's like, no, buck stops with the Board of Health. Buck stops with the Board of Health. Like I said at the meeting that night, he'll go to any ends to argue back if it doesn't line up with what he wants to see done.
He won't
stop.
Petty little man.
Another thing, I think the town owes you something, Vasily, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going back to if inspectional services gave you the permit and you asked what the process was, and a town employee represented to you that the process was X and you followed X, Bill can't come out of nowhere and say, nope, too bad. You followed X based upon the town's expert. Well, no, absolutely not. This guy's, I did not realize it was that clear cut. So that Bill stomped on your permit.
So Bill will say, and there is an email. Bill, Bill will bring this email up where this was probably a week after I got my chickens, where I said I will move it to the side yard just to make sure that, like, there's no complaints, right? And I thought about it after the fact, and I'm saying to myself, well, you know what? I have a permit. Why do I have to move it?
Yeah.
Why do I have to move it? So, he follows back up because it's probably on his calendar, and he goes, have you moved the coop yet? I said, no, I'm not moving until the new regulations are in place. Like, I want to know what these new regulations are. And when then I found out what the draft was, I then started speaking against it, because if I moved it over there, it's still the same thing, and it's like they don't want to hear it. Nope. And I'm just tired I've spent a year on this. A year fighting this, and now it's not even about the coop. It's the principle and how this gentleman has gross overreach and can utilize his power as an appointed official. He's an appointed official.
Appointed official, exactly.
Town, okay, exactly. Appointed by the old town council. It's just complete overreach. Like, and I've made it clear to them at the meetings, like, if I had complaints from my neighbors, which I have none, okay, that's public record, I have none, then I would move it. I would do what I had to do to make my neighbors neighbors feel like they're being heard. Sense of community, right? There you go. Sense of community.
So you mentioned something earlier about about an email, I think. Did the council say anything about your complaint tonight, or are they going to investigate?
They are looking into it. They are looking into it. I did ask them if the council has the ability to remove an appointed official. I was told that if there is cause, an appointed official can be removed.
There you go. If this isn't cause, what does Jim want? But we know John Munson won't, because John Munson and Bill Schmidt are like frickin' frack.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. John needs to be aware that if John goes off the beating track of what Bill's agenda is, Bill will throw him right under the bus.
Yeah, it's an abusive relationship.
And that's the truth. That's the truth. This is what I'm hearing throughout town.
So Bill does that with the other two women on the council too. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Vasily, but he does the same thing to the two ladies on the council. I don't know how he does it. Guy got some sort of, narcissists figure these things out, don't they? They know how to manipulate.
As far as I know, Munson's already kind of coupled up with
Schmidt,
Ignatowski. Yeah, he is. He
is. In fact, I believe there's an email circulating out there. We'll get to that, though. I don't want to go off course with Vasily here. The other thing I still don't get is that there's no, like you have nowhere to go. Like there's no appeals board, like for the Board of Health. How is that possible? Everything has an appeal. Everything can be appealed. You can appeal a fucking mass murderer can appeal his case, but you, Vasily Malios with 6 chickens in Winthrop, little chicken coop, can't appeal your ticket.
I'm going to take a shot at the education class here a little bit, because this is their fault. Our whole lives, we've been told to ask the experts. And let's look at, and certainly our Board of Health is not necessarily all experts, right? I mean, Bill's not an expert, but let's assume they were. I should get to, and let's assume you all saw the movie Outbreak.
Yeah.
Let's assume that's the real what's happening. As a free American, I should be able to decide that I want to die with that disease. And I'll stay away from, you know what I mean? My point being, the BOH should be able to be challenged, even if the lay person who's challenging it does not have a degree. Because just because we aren't doctors or scientists doesn't mean we should not choose how we want to live.
So there needs to be a list of questions sent to the town manager and the town council president, I think, basically asking these questions. I want answers to these questions. Where's the appeals process on this? When is enough enough? This guy already proved himself. Who wrote it earlier? Right here. I mean, his commentary about women, hairstyles, and what they look like depending on what does Jim need? What is cause here? Does he have to murder somebody?
So I have an information request out there and I brought this up tonight, searching for the complaints and grievances made against Bill. And from what I'm hearing is that there really aren't many. And so I made it clear tonight at the town council where you need to speak up. Enough is enough. Like if this, inside, right? I always, my parents taught me pretty well. If I knew I was wrong here, I would feel it, right? If I knew I was overstepping my boundaries or, it didn't feel good, I would know and I would back off. But I don't have that feeling because I know I'm right in this case.
You are.
This is common sense. I shouldn't be wasting anybody's time with this. I should be able to handle my property the way it is. It's clean. It's presentable. My neighbors are fine with it. Just leave me alone.
Really, that's what matters. The neighbors, right? Because that's where the complaints come from. And 99.9% of Board of Health complaints is neighbors. This person's yard or that or any complaint to the town, it's usually neighbors. Nobody's driving by going, "Oh, chickens! I see chickens!"
No, Bill is. Bill
Bill
lives.
is.
Bill lives what? I mean, as the crow flies, he lives a half a mile from you. Maybe 3/4 if
blocks.
you have to walk on the street.
Well,
So,
he evidently walks by
he has
late at night when nobody's out there.
I
He
have
has
cameras.
Creeping.
Yeah,
It's creeping.
he's like the Google car that you see. He's got a helmet on his head with the camera that has all the different lenses on it.
Dude,
I'll get
he's
the
like
chicken hoops.
he's like when Jethro Bodine in the Beverly Hillbillies became a double knot spy, and he had he had the tube with the mirrors in it, looking over the bushes, and he's looking at a periscope. He's looking at your chickens.
Yeah. Looking at your chickens coming out of the
He's
bushes.
a double knot spy.
Tonight
Oh,
he did speak after me, and he tried to turn it around, saying that I am the one making it personal, but he forgot to mention that I have the right to voice my opinion and defend my opinion.
That's right.
And you get the applause for that one, buddy.
And he forgot to mention that. Absolutely, I'm going to voice my opinion against this. It affects me.
His incompetence in itself is showing in a large way. If that's not cause, like, what do they need? What does this guy need to do for them to say, all right, enough is enough. You've crossed the line more than a couple of times. We're making a decision on this. But of course, John Munson, that's his boy. That's his boy. He's teaming up with him. I think he's on the wrong side, but okay.
I think it's starting to open a lot of people's eyes in town.
As it should. And usually it takes something like this. It usually takes a little incident. The regular guy comes home from work one day. The regular all-American guy, Vasily Malios, he's a coach, he's a teacher, he's a chicken guy, he's part of the community, he's involved, he's young, he's got a young family, he's all Winthrop, all-American. And this guy decides to poke the bear. He poked the wrong bear. He poked the wrong bear because this isn't going away. And we're not, and of course, we're not letting it go away because this is right.
There's something new every single week, like that comes out of this. It's not even about the coup anymore. It's the principle. It's the power that the Board of Health has, and people aren't aware. I've heard that a business has closed their doors because of the Board of Health.
Yep.
Okay. They gave Saint Visage, a difficult time, and she, she's been here for 20 something years. She wanted to put something in there, and they said, nope, you got to go through these steps. They pick and choose who they want to help out. There's what's the consistency? I wish, this is what I wish. I wish that there was a member on the council that sat on that board, just like Jim sits on the school committee. That's a governing board that makes critical decisions for the town.
That's a great point.
So the town council member sits on the school committee. Well, if the Board of Health has this much power and they can create regulations and put things into law without the council's permission, well, why isn't there a seat on there for a member of the town council? Why is the town council's voice not heard?
Right.
Because the small town Winthrop government is broken. It's just broken. They're going by outdated ways of operating, right? They think, we'll just kind of slug along and we got a complaint. No, you're absolutely right. These are critical positions that now have to be addressed. They have to have a magnifying glass on them. You can't just let this guy run wild like he has been, doing whatever he wants, saying whatever he wants. The fact that he interrupts multiple times during the public speaking thing, and then he says, it's because I'm defending myself. You're supposed to just sit there, shut up, and take it. But a narcissist can't do that. They can't do that.
He has to be right.
Has to be right.
Has to be right.
Has to be right.
Or get the last word.
He's a petty little man.
The demeanor has changed over the past year. The way the public comment worked at the Board of Health, it was open discussion. You could talk I think I spoke for 40 minutes one time, or 20 minutes, with an open dialogue between the members of the committee and myself. Well, as this started to go, now we put restrictions in. We're back to the 3 minutes. And Bill makes it very aware that you have 3 minutes every single time you have public comment.
Yeah.
Did the
So now
lack
you
of
want to
Zoom?
follow. Now you want to follow the decorum, but before you didn't.
Did the lack of Zoom come up tonight? Did anyone mention that he's not Zooming him anymore?
You know what, Todd? I got in depth with the community piece because it means a lot to me.
Sure.
You know, I want to see our community thrive. I don't want to see someone's opinion jeopardize businesses, neighborhoods, individuals in this community, because Winthrop's amazing. It really is, and you know it comes from the leadership roles and down. And when we have great people in town that want to step up, well, you know, sometimes they rock the boat a little bit, and then what is it? You're now, oh, you know, it's shameful. It's disappointing that this is where we're at.
I know we talked about this the last time you were on, and what precinct are you in?
5.
Yeah.
Is there
Not
that lot? Is there
Not
is there,
happening.
Oh, buddy, you're the kind of change that needs to happen, though. See, that's the thing. I know. Look at, hey, listen, it's your life, right?
Hey.
But it's the person like you that comes along that just you kind of. I'm gonna give you a little pep talk. You just suck it up, kid.
You know
Get
what?
in there, make a difference.
It's not even it's not even the opinions and the judgment being made, because I don't have an issue. I have a very strong backbone. I stick with my guns.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
The problem is my time.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's tough. The amount of time and commitment to it, it's a lot.
I understand.
Being on those subcommittees, you know, you have the town council every other Tuesday, right? And then it's a subcommittee on, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or, you know, whatever. It's a lot of time. And unfortunately I'm teaching and then I'm traveling for officiating. I'm on the road. So 5 months out of 5 months, my fiance wants to kill me because I'm barely home, and she wants to kill me now that I have to go to the town council meeting or be on Winthrop votes. She's like, oh, another meeting tonight, huh?
Yeah.
So I love it.
She loves you, man. She loves you. She wants you around. She doesn't want to share you with Winthrop votes. She loves
the chickens too. That's all that matters. The chickens and the dog.
Tell her she has no choice. You have to share her. We have to share you with Winthrop votes. That's it.
That's it. You're part of the family now.
All right, buddy, listen.
I like the advocating piece to it. I don't mind fighting for cause and voicing my opinion. And right now that's where I'll stand. And, you know, if people need a voice, you know, that's what you need. You need a voice. Stick up for yourself.
Go to the meetings.
Back.
Yeah. Go to the meetings.
This is a great example of local politics. Get involved. Pay attention. It's all matters here. It doesn't matter what's going on anywhere else.
Contact with the votes. Let us know. Come on the show.
Yep.
You know, we haven't had anybody storm off yet, and we're in 80 episodes.
And Bill, you're more than welcome to come and I'm sure you won't, but you're more than welcome to come here and
I'm sure
us.
he hates me now. I'm sure I am. Vasily is Bill's public enemy number one. Maybe I'm 1A.
Yeah, you're 1.25.
I'm 1A. But Vasily is at the top of his most wanted list.
I moved down to 3 or 4.
Well, listen, my friend, we won't want to keep you from your beautiful fiance.
Thank you.
Yeah, let us know any updates.
I'll keep you posted on what
Absolutely, man. You know, we're your biggest fans here, buddy.
I appreciate
We're your biggest fans. Anytime you want to come on, you just let us know. But keep us posted, and we're going to keep this relevant. This isn't going away. It stopped being about just the chickens 2 months ago.
5 discussions ago.
Yes, that's the way to put it. All right,
Take
buddy.
it easy, buddy. Good
Thank
to
you
see
for coming on, man.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
You know, and it's like the same like the flag thing. It's just about out of control. It's just about overreach, and these are little things, but they start to add up. You know, it just.
I mean, this is a broken system. If they don't see that it's broken, and what are they? Are they too lazy to fix it? Are they too stupid to fix it? I'm just going to be blunt. Are they just too stupid to fix this? Are they too afraid? Are they afraid of Bill Schmidt? You know,
the balance.
Dude, that was a big yawn.
I know, huh? The balance of power, because I mean, look, at the end of the day, as small as the power is in Winthrop, right? You're just running a little rinky-dink $60 million budget, whatever it is these days. But the balance of power on the council is everything. And if you want to get your agenda done, and right now Jim doesn't have the votes to do a lot of the things he wants to do, and he's spending time. He spends. Whether or not he enjoys this, I don't know. This is not a reflection of his opinion, but to me, him spending time even dealing with the flag policy. I mean, we were just poking at it because of its ridiculousness, but he has other things to focus on. They have other things to focus on, and they're putting in a nonsensical flag policy that no one asked for. They solved a problem that didn't exist.
Well, they solved a problem that 2%, 1% complained about. But now you have this kid comes along, complains about this, and they're like, well, it's the Board of Health. Well, it's this. Well, it's that. Well, it's this. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What's more important? An overreach that can affect every single citizen, resident of Winthrop, literally affect. That means he can do it to anybody, or a flag policy that 1%, maybe a 0.5% of the residents in Winthrop complained about. Right. So where's the priorities there, town council? Where's the priorities, Jim Lettieri, town manager? You're stroking the liberal mind hive. You afraid of them? They do a good job at making people afraid of them, evidently. Because now they'll attack and attack and attack, and you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're a misogynist, and then, God forbid, I'm an elected official. I don't want to be called anything like that. You know what I mean? But you get Vasily's case that can affect everybody.
Whatever it is, they will never admit it.
We see it.
I mean, they know full well that a lot of the stuff that they're caving into, if you will, is it's freaking juvenile, really, in a lot of respects. I mean, people can fly whatever flag they want on their own property. This isn't a thing. There's nobody being oppressed. National Pride Month isn't a thing that the OGs ever wanted. It was a day, and it was a parade. Now they have all this infighting in the community. Right, Boston is having its Pride Parade for the first time, I think, in 2 years because it got canceled because there was factions.
Look at that Pride flag. That it looks like a box of Crayolas gone bad.
What which one? The
Progressive
Pride
flag. It looks like a box of Crayolas that went bad. It really does. There's some crappy colors in there.
And there's not. It's just funny and. And it's not inclusive when it's exclusive.
It's only inclusive when they're in it, But so let's get back to John Munson, and Bill Schmidt. So evidently,
you still want to talk about Bill? Aren't
you? No, because now we're going to talk about John Munson. Now we're going to talk about John Munson. So John Munson and Bill Schmidt are in cahoots together, and it showed tonight at the town council meeting, where Vasily said that Bill the Shill Schmidt, has no powers to write a violation. And there's John Munson nodding his head. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. John Munson and Bill Schmidt. And this coincides with an email that went out from.
Do you have it?
You can pull it up. Yeah. Okay. So this is an email that went out from Bill Schmidt, Bill the Shill Schmidt, supporting. Who do you know? Who do you guess? Who do you think?
Bill Schmidt.
It's John Munson.
Yep. Let's start down here. Johnny sent the letter to himself. Whoops. This is the email that he sent to
Bill Schmidt.
Bill Schmidt.
Is what? Let me make it. Let me enlarge it. So it says, "I hope you are well. I wanted to let you know I intend to run again for Precinct 2 Town Councilor. I just pulled papers at the town hall and will devise a campaign strategy in the coming weeks. In the meantime, here's my letter to the editor describing my first year in office It was a productive year, and I hope to continue making progress over the next 4 years with his hidden agenda meetings. But that's another topic for another time. So that this town is in a great position for the future. Let me know if you have any ideas, suggestions, or words of advice. Words of advice from Bill Schmidt. Thanks, and talk to you soon.
So I'll go on the record and say to John, be careful who you hitch your
it's
wagon
hitched,
to.
buddy. He proved it tonight. It's hitched.
This is the email. Bill sent this to some type of list. I think.
Now, did he pull this list from his email bank, from his position, from his appointed position?
That's a good question.
Did he send this out to everybody in Winthrop? So how do you get an email bank like that? How do you get a bank of email accounts like that? Unless he pulled them from his account, his Board of Health, his official position, to send this out to random people.
Well, we don't know. We don't have the emails he sent.
Well, we can. Oh, well, he said he sent this off his personal thing. So what does he say? Let me see. Go back to. It says this is as. I mean, come on. This is as dumbed down as it gets. Hello, Winthrop friend. I am forwarding this email from Town Councilor John Mutson, who will be a candidate for re-election from Precinct 2 this year. John has done a great job on the Town Council during the past 16 months. His appointment to fill the vacancy following Jim Lettieri's election Town Council presidency. John will continue to be a great asset to the community if re-elected in November, and I urge you to support his candidacy. That alone is going to cost him votes.
So let's for a second take the candidate and Bill out of it for a second. This is because this is an example. Dear friend cards, you make phone calls. I mean, I've worked elections. I've listened to the people call their friends to vote for a candidate, and I've listened to how they've asked. Now, if Jeff Turco tells me, hey, you should take a look at this guy, you should vote for this guy, I'm not going to study as hard the person if it came from a different, like someone else. Like Jeff's proven to me over and over again that we are aligned on a lot of the candidates. We very rarely disagree. But when you're just sending it out to a random bunch of friends, that some who are just going to be acquaintances, this stuff does convince people to vote for John, and there's no substance. Some people will see this and say, oh yeah, I'll vote for John. But forget about John, just in general. This is the type of stuff that gets sent out on dear friend cards and the phone calls that are made of how campaigns try to get people to vote for them, for their candidate. It's this, the substance part is lacking in a lot of areas. It's just very scary to me because it's really prevalent in these local elections, right? People don't really, they pay less attention at home than they do nationally. They can tell you about all the fights that are happening between certain politicians, but they don't know the issues in their own town, and it's kind of sad.
I'm curious to see how many people got that email.
Yeah, I'd love to know that, but I can't. I don't.
I mean, we can solicit it and say if you got this, and then you start. So this is how you start an investigation, right? How do you connect all these people to Bill Schmidt? Is he friends with them? Does he know them? Because usually people on your email, the majority of the people on your email are friends of yours. And there's multiple emails, whether it's every 6 months, but you start looking into the frequency in which these people have communicated together, right? So now you see that there's this random email that comes from Bill Schmidt. You've never talked to him before, right? But you get this Dear Winthrop friend. So then you're like, and he sends it from his personal email address. For his personal email address. How would he get Todd Sacco's email in his personal email bank of,
I didn't get that sent to me from him. That was leaked.
Right. I'm saying, though, the people that got it. Oh, I'm sure you are not on Bill Schmidt's email list. I'm sure you are not on that email list, right? So the people that got it need to ask the question, I'm not connected to Bill Schmidt. How did he get my email address, right?
Right.
All it takes is one. I'll take 10. So you take 10 people and say, we got this email from Bill Schmidt. I've never communicated with him before. Where did he get my email? Right? So then you start digging. You go, okay, Bill, how did you get his email? What's he going to say? He's either going to say, "Oh, I took it from my appointed official position email bank as the head of the Board of Health, where I can send out, notices."
Well, he really can't do that
as the head of the Board of Health.
Yeah, he can't use it.
So what I'm saying is, so say there's the pandemic, right? So he has to send out information from the Board of Health to the town of Winthrop, right? So if you can send an email. The town of Winthrop can send you an email. I think they're allowed
yes,
to,
they
right?
can.
In a situation like that, no?
Yeah, I think they in that situation they can, but can they do it for campaign purposes?
Let's see.
I don't know.
Could be a list from the last election. It's possible.
Oh yeah, because I think he did work on the election I think he did help Munson on his last.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then that's the case, but it would be interesting to know.
Sure would.
And where did he get the list last time? Right? Like the Durham report. You just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you find this is where he got the. Oh, yeah. By the way, to all you people that were all for the Russian dossier, from me and Todd, we fucking told you so. I don't care now. We're over an hour. We told you so. But anyways, back to local politics. So we'll have more to talk about. I'm gonna let you got to go to sleep. You've been burning that candle at both ends, buddy.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
Well, listen, what's that?
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we're just gonna wrap it up, but if you have something to say.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna start the wrap up. Like we always say, local politics, right? A friend of mine, well, like I always say, local politics, right? All politics starts at the local level. A friend of mine suggested that at the end of the show every week, we share some upcoming meetings.
There you go.
So I thought I'd show the meetings. These meetings have pretty much passed. Town council appointments, commissions and committees, and the community meeting is done. But tomorrow you have transportation safety and advisory, board of license. This is where people are applying for licenses for businesses and the like, conservation. And if you want to see more, you just click here and it goes right to the the town calendar. Okay, so I'm going to be showing these weekly so that you'll know what's coming up, and maybe there'll be meetings that you want to attend. But like I always say, and like we always say, all politics starts, and I say it stops too, at the local level. So please get involved. And if you like this, share it. For those who are watching tonight, thank you. For those who will watch, thank you. We really appreciate your support. Peace out.
And Kurt Millar is running for Precinct 2, right?
Oh, yes, he is.
Kurt Millar, pulled papers, Precinct 2. He'll be on the show. He'll be on the show next week. He will. He'll be on the show next week. Look, the campaign started. If they want to send out an email, right? Well, then Kurt gets airtime. Right? What's right is right.
Right.
So, well, like I always say, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you liked it, share it. If you didn't like it, thanks for listening this long. We appreciate your time. And it's all about Winthrop. That's the bottom line. And we'll see you next Monday night with Kurt Millar, running for Town Council Precinct 2 candidate. All right. See you.